Hi, I'm Scott Barlow with Integrated Control Technologies. I'm the president of the company, and with me is Dan Barlow, a vice president, and we're here to talk to you today about what we can do to help you in the improving efficiency and performance of your extruders. You know, a lot of the extruders today are 10 years old or older, and that poses a lot of problems today for manufacturers.
So effectively, the challenges that are out there in the industry are pretty simple. I've got operators that are very difficult to find. The knobs and the dials are intimidating. Going from one recipe to the next can be very confusing. And finding somebody for third shift can be very difficult. On top of that, the maintenance personnel can be also difficult to find too, because some of the complexities of troubleshooting extruders, such as finding a shorted solid state relay or broken probe, can be very difficult. And then on top of that, who do I go to solve those problems? And who has that expertise? When you look at it, they probably think, well, my local integrator is somebody, but I'd have to have a defined scope of work. And they not necessarily specialize inside of extruders. They maybe do a lot of different things. And so I'm not sure what I'm going to get.
You know, many customers have come to us because they trusted a local integrator and to do an upgrade on their extruder. And although those guys are really talented, the problem is they really don't understand the process. And if you have somebody upgrading your machine that really doesn't understand your process, the chance of you getting an extruder operating like you need it to operate are pretty slim. That's where we come in.
You're right. So as a matter of fact, going with the local integrator has challenges for the customer as well. They have to define a scope of work, and in defining a scope of work, there's a lot of protective features and capabilities in a system you may not think of, like cold start inhibit, or maybe that I need to bring diagnostics into the system to tell my operators and my maintenance personnel what's going on. And so it becomes after the fact, and then the charges go up even higher. So what you've seen is Integrated Control Technologies is a provider for aftermarket supplies for the extrusion industry. But we'd like to show you what those products are, so we're going to start with the AC Pack. I'd like to introduce to you the flagship product for ICT. It's the AC Pack. We've installed this on hundreds of extruders across the U.S. We have a full 5-year warranty and manufacture all the way up to 1,000 horsepower. In cases where you have an emergency retrofit, we can ship a 500 horsepower unit to a 100 horsepower unit within 24 hours. Let's talk about the features of the AC Pack. One of the things that makes it different from other people is that the heat sink of the drive is actually out the back. This reduces 70% of the overall heat in the enclosure and makes it last longer, thus the 5-year warranty. One of the great features that we do for this product is we put the control voltage up high. This means when you're actually reaching for the terminations of the unit, you're not near the power voltage of the drive itself. We also cover the line reactor, which is a standard product inside of our system. This prevents accidental contact with the line reactor itself. We pair the AC Pack with the RPM AC motor that's designed specifically for extruder applications. So if you have an extruder failure, the people you want to call is ICT. Now what we'd like to do is show you the TempCom product, which is one of our newest releases.
The TempCom is a pre-engineered control system designed specifically to retrofit older extruder control systems. We've applied this in all types of application, from sheet to pipe to profile to blown film. In fact, the story behind this product is very interesting. The customer had a fire, and it was caused by a shorted solid-state relay which went to ground. And since their system didn't have any diagnostics, they had a fire and it destroyed their line. And they came to us and they were interested in the TempCom system, but more importantly, they needed it in 6 weeks. And the good news about this is the fact that because it's pre-engineered, we can actually ship this under emergency basis, and for this customer, we did this in 6 weeks. Well, that's unheard of in the industry, and a big advantage that we bring to the industry. This is available in several different versions. We have the Advisor series, which was our Genesis product, and we've been shipping that for a number of years. We recently introduced the Supervisor series. One of the advantages of the Supervisor series is the fact that you can view the screen of that extruder on any device. In fact, you can view it on an iPad or an iPhone or another computer. And the reason this is an advantage is if you get a call in the middle of the night from an operator explaining to you what the problem is and it's very difficult to understand, you don't have to try to interpret what he says or make that drive into the plant. You can actually open up your iPhone and you can look at the screen and see exactly what that operator is talking about. In fact, you could even help him troubleshoot it and get up and running again. What that's going to do for you is that's going to be able to minimize maintenance and it's going to maximize production. Data is very important. It's getting more and more important for users. And the reason it is because you want to understand how your extruder is performing. Whether it's making scrap, or whether it's in idle mode, or whether it's in production, or in maintenance. The Supervisor Series tracks that information for you so you have a better idea of what's going on in your plant. The TempCom Series product has a graphical representation of your process. That is much easier to understand than a bunch of switches and knobs and dials from an operator that's never seen an extruder before. In fact, by looking at this screen and looking at your machine, he's going to understand how it works. It is very intuitive. In fact, one of my customers said this. He said, "It's so easy to teach my operators how to operate this. I taught them in 15 minutes, and now I'm not spending my time teaching them how to operate a machine. I'm teaching them process. And by that, I have better operators and I make a better product." The TempCom has a very high level of diagnostics. Whether you have a shorted solid-state relay that could cause a fire, or whether you have an open probe or an open heater or a drive fault or really any other type of problem, the TempCom helps you diagnose what that problem is immediately. And in doing so, it allows your maintenance staff to address those problems and get your machine up and running again. And what that does for you is it maximizes your production, which is important. Whether your application is in pipe or profile or sheet or blown film, whatever your application is in extrusion, Integrated Control Technologies has the application, the product, the know-how, and the experience to be able to help you move your extruder into this millennium. Thank you.